get that little fade out on I'm still getting my fingers right on getting the fade out. It's not quite perfect. It's a little too slow, then a little too fast. I'm not going to get into that right now because right now is a milestone for Out of Depth Plays. This is episode 10. 10th episode ever. No more single digits for us. And the great news about that is that we made it to 10. I didn't know if we were going to make it to 10, but we did. We made it to 10. The bad news is there's only 12 of this series right here, which means we are 3 episodes, counting this one, away from being completely done with Hackway Heights, Bastionland, these characters. I fall in love with these characters. You fall in love with these characters. I hope you have anyways. They can be a little frustrating, but they're so lovable. And I am so excited to see where we're going for tonight because it is clear that our party wants to wrap this up. Gail, Nathan, David, they want some resolution. They want to resolve these issues. And we've come to a point where we're even debating how can we fit all of this in? And they're having to make maybe a little bit of metatextual sacrifices just in order to make sure that they get a resolution to these stories that we've been telling. And it's a great, great story. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you watch us on YouTube or Twitch, whenever we play the episodes on those platforms. Giving another shout out to our listener in Germany who's been digging through all of these episodes. Awesome. I don't know what else to say other than it's really cool that our podcast is listened to in Germany. That's kind of neat. And I hope you're enjoying it. Guys, it is episode 10. Gail, how do you feel right now?
I feel amazing. Sallie is really worried. She doesn't like that Barney got taken by Anita. She doesn't like that she's probably going to have to kill Mr. Dick or be heavily involved with killing Mr. Dick. She doesn't like that her friends have to do this. But here we are.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. Because I'm in the back seat of the convertible right now as a game master facilitator. I've put all the pieces that I need to put out there. And now I'm watching you all knock down the dominoes. And I'm very excited to just go, what do you want to do now? And you all just tell me whatever madcap idea that you've come up with. And I've heard some of them already. And I bet none of them are going to be the ones you end up doing.
That's the way it goes.
I like that image, though. I feel like you drove us to a certain point, and then now you just shimmied to the back seat, but all 3 of us are looking at the wheel right now like, what who's going to take it? What are we doing?
We're all sitting in the back together.
We're flying.
We're all sitting in the back together, this Thelma and Louise adventure that we've created. And we're heading straight towards the cliff.
Somebody puts a toe up every once in a while to shift it.
Yeah.
I can get back in between the lines, maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, you want to go up there and drive that? Well, the best I can do is put my toe on the steering wheel right now.
For just
the absolute best.
Just a little. Okay.
Sallie, you want to get
most.
in? No. She's like this the whole time.
She throws her hood up. No. All right, guys. It is, you all last episode had a bit of an argument. I mean, it got, after a very ridiculous, scatologically filled episode, it got really tense there at the end when Nathan Tremolo Tristan had done his damnedest to get a job and was like really making like power moves, like tactical stuff going on. It was really great. And Nezzy and Sallie came in to fuck all of that up as hard as they could.
Just a good chunk.
Well, you didn't know.
You forced him to shit all over it, like literally go to the bathroom and just make a mess.
But you all had quite an argument of Sallie and Nezzy wanted to go. Well, Nezzy particularly, but Sallie was kind of on the fence. Sallie started on Nezzy's side, I think, to go do this dick job now. And
Is that what we're calling it? Is the dick job?
We're gonna stick with dick job, huh?
The dick job.
let me say this.
Episode
I
10,
said
the
it.
dick job.
I said I was moving on. I had a straight face. I was moving on from dick job. You guys couldn't handle it. All right?
You
That's
knew
on
what
you.
you were doing. You knew what you were setting up.
I did not, actually. It just all came out at once. And in the back of my head, I said, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Hopefully they don't say anything. And you couldn't help yourselves.
Dick job
Couldn't help
just came
yourselves.
right out of your mouth.
I mean, I'm proud of all three of us for not letting you get away with that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
All right. So the dick assassination.
Much better.
Is that better?
The dick
Yeah,
ass.
that's yeah.
The murder of the dick, regardless of what we want to call it, they wanted to go do this now. They thought it was fortuitous that you all ended up in the same spot at the same time, and Nezzy thought this was providence, that this was meant to be, and it was time to go. And Tremolo had to talk him out of it, saying, "We cannot do this. We got to follow the plan, follow the schedule." Make sure all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. And for a moment there, it felt like that conversation was over. And then Trey Traston had to reveal that that Barney is currently staying at Indigo Ranch. And
Staying's a generous term.
being looked after,
Uh-huh.
cared for,
Held hostage.
shepherded,
Sure.
nurtured.
Invested.
Invested.
Invested. And after another tense conversation, you all decided that you weren't going to go deal with Mr. Dick right now, but you were going to give it like a day. It was going to be done in a day because time was of the essence, and that was the compromise. So the three of you leave Dynamic Industries because it was quitting time and it was time to get out of that setting. I think we exhausted it pretty good. And made your way short trip back to Vexenhall Manor, where Finney is cooking you all up some potatoes and sausage in a skillet.
Ooh.
How was our man's first day of work?
Oh, very eventful. I got a lot done, that's for sure.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Finney.
You know,
the-
I always wanted to cook for somebody who was coming up back from their job. It makes me feel like a real homemaker, you know?
Well, I must say it is very satisfying to walk in the door after a long, hard day's work to the smell of beautiful food cooking in the kitchen. I mean, that's why I came right in. It smells amazing.
He's like spooning the stuff on to plates around the table. I'll have to go downstairs to the basement and give Master his portion. He likes to work and eat at the same time.
That seems unsanitary.
Nobody asked you.
Thank you, Finney.
Yes.
Should we
Enjoy
wait-
dinner.
Should we wait to eat with you? Or would you like us to go ahead and...
No, that's fine. You have your dinner together with you and your friends.
we consider you a friend as well.
And I you. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves
In
without
secret.
worry of anyone listening.
In secret, and Tremolo does his wink with his glass eye. Like, no real wink.
He
In
squeezes
secret, right?
the fabric around his eye. Yes, I can tell you're trying to wink, but your weird puppet eyes will not allow you. I'll be downstairs. If you don't see me for a while, it's not because I'm hiding behind that wall. And he exits. You hear his footsteps, the creaking of the floorboards, and then the closing of the basement door.
Tremolo throws food in his mouth.
I pat Nezzy on the back and kind of like rub his shoulders and say, you gotta eat something so that we can do what we gotta do, okay?
As he's just kind of pushing his potatoes around on his plate.
Don't play with your food, Nezzy. Eat your food, Nezzy.
How am I supposed to eat? I don't even know if my boy had a meal tonight. I don't know if he's safe.
I know he did. Anita wouldn't do that, okay?
I've never even met the lady. All I know is that she thinks I'm a terrible father when she's a murderer. She killed someone right in front of you. How is she ever even more fit to care for my son than I am? She thinks I'm not worthy to care for him. She's the one that cares for the youth. As far as I know, she's one of the worst people that in this damn city.
She's a real hypocrite, that's for sure. But she has a line, and Barney is on the safe side of that line, okay?
Yes,
So-
she takes very good care of those horses. As he
Yes.
throws more food in his mouth. I
Well-
think she's a very caring person, though she has a very harsh side.
Very caring person. A very caring person. I have no assurances. We're supposed to be doing this woman a favor, taking out her biggest rival, and I don't even have any assurances that I'm going to be able to live the life I want at the end of this. How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do this when Barney's...
Look,
I got to see her face to face, and I got to know my boy's safe. And I got to know I got a life after this. I have to know.
Wait, all I can say is she's simply waiting for us to finish doing what we said we would do. And then we will be in her good favor. You can sit down and maybe keep your tattoos covered and have a conversation with her about the future for you and Bonnie.
After the fact, after you made the plans of that we're taking out Dick, you told me to leave because she wanted me. You have deals with Anita. I don't have anything.
I just knew that she was gonna try and get you to tell her where Barney was. That's all. And I knew that you didn't want her near Barney, and I know that I don't want her near Barney. Like I said, like he's not gonna be hurt. He's gonna be fed. He's not gonna be killed. He's just probably not gonna be happy.
He was safe where he was. I don't know why she needed to do what she did. And I certainly don't believe that it's because she cares for the youth.
That's fair.
I believe she has good intentions, but they are being put to ill use. So if we really wanted to remedy that, I feel like we would have to take steps to prove that to her. But we also have to take steps to prove who you really are, Nezzy. And right now, I don't know how you're supposed to do that.
Why am I the one that's supposed to prove myself to her?
Because of your past, Nezzy.
What about her past? She's got more blood on her hands. I've never killed a person in my life.
Well,
how many people has she killed?
She has weights on both sides of the ledger, Nezzy. And
Well, if
all
we're
you
doing what
have
we're doing
are
tomorrow-
your misdeeds. You have done many great things with me and Sallie that are very commendable. You are very courageous and heroic, and I know that you can show that, and you will be a good father. But you have very little to show for it, to a stranger.
She has very little to show that she has my son's best intentions. That's what we're talking about. That's what matters.
What do you plan to do, Nessie?
I need to see her face to face, and I need to know that the future that I need to have is viable. I'm about to risk my life tomorrow for what? I need to know that Barney, that my name will be cleared from all of this malarkey that's on the radio, and I need to know that I have a life with Barney. Otherwise, why would I do what she wants us to do?
Okay. What if you merely spoke with her? Does it have to be face to face? If you simply we get her on the telephone, and you're able to speak with her and exchange ideas on the matter. I don't know.
Well, that's not what I'd like to do, but every time I go outside, it's quite the risk. My name plastered all over all the papers, blowing up some bridge. Ridiculous.
I know that this is very important to all of us, Nessie, by the way. It seems as though I'm being cold about your son.
You hid it from me, Tremolo. You hid it from me.
In the whole time, it's because I actually trust Anita with this thing. I'm not blind to the fact that she blew out Howdy's stuffing right in front of us, and that she did it on purpose. She was proving a point, and it was well received. I'm not blind to that, but I'm also not blind to the fact that she legitimately cares for beings that she feels like need and deserve help. And Barney is one of those.
I don't think you can know someone as well as you're claiming with so little time. I'll give her a call, and I'll try and get this sorted out in my heart. But
okay,
Tremolo, all I'm asking is understand the skepticism that I have. I'm rightfully skeptic about this.
I understand your skepticism. Yes. Now,
Nezbit,
can we?
I swear to you, however this goes, I won't let Barney stay with Anita. None of us will.
No, he needs to be with his father. He needs to be with someone who legitimately loves him.
If she doesn't make good on this, if she just clears our name or just clears somebody's name, Tremolo's name or anything like that, I swear, Barney's getting out.
So you have my back at the end of this. That if Anita doesn't give him back,
yes,
we will kill her if we have to.
Yes.
We will get Barney back. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, under any means necessary, Tremolo? Okay.
He saw that I didn't say that I wanted to kill him.
Tremolo's inner monologue comes outside.
Can we join this with our plot to murder Mr. Dick?
I don't like that word murder. Can't we just say get revenge or something?
To splode Mr. Dick.
I like that better.
Okay, so there very well may be a phone here that we could use in the in this estate. But
yeah, do we see a phone in the room here?
I should point out that Nezzy, you have a piece of paper for a radio, and one of the call signs is to Indigo Ranch.
That's right.
What kind of radio could we like? Do we see something that we could use to radio?
Can we tune into specific frequencies with Tremolo?
Have to have a CB though. You have to be able to talk.
Oh, that's a good point.
But as far as the telephone goes, Vexenhall has a phone.
Yes, but do we want to have, we have to go through an operator to be connected.
Yeah.
And again, I have these punch cards. And I got one for the crazies at the church and one for Indigo Ranch. So we could go to the church crazies now. And once we talk about what we want our plan to be, we could go to the church. You could use a phone there to talk with Anita, and that would be a marker tracing those two together, if we wanted to use them as a scapegoat. Now, this is what I want to be thinking about. I am very worried about Bonnie, but I feel like right now we have to get this plan solid and we have to execute this perfectly. And in doing so, we very well may be able to clear everyone off our backs and be able to go scot-free into the sunset.
I do like the idea of not calling Anita from here. I'm fine with calling her from somewhere else. And I do think that we need to plan this out.
And I hope, Nezzy, that this proves I am very skeptical of Anita. I'm just not as worried about what she may do to Barney as you are. But I'm also not his father, so that's just putting everything where it lays. I understand that.
I may never have been the best father, but no one can ever question my love. And I will not be able to sleep until I know that he's safe. So let's do it. If you think that's the safer way to do it, let's go now before it gets too much later.
Well, how do we want to use the people at the church? Well, we need to know what is going on with the parade, when we want to enter, and how we might want to use them. Because again, Nezzy, you as Nezariah have quite a bit of sway.
Yes, they do think that I have a past with Felina, and now you actually do have a precedent with Felina. So
yes,
there's certainly a lot of avenues we can manipulate them with to get what we need. But I'm just concerned with making a phone call, and you can certainly get whatever information from them that we need to get in terms of what if we can find out where Mr. Dick and is going to be tomorrow. If we can know for sure that he's going to be at the ceremony, then that certainly gives us a lot of opportunity to sneak into his place without him being there.
Yes.
So, where do you guys want to go right now?
I think we're going to go to the Church of New Modernity. Is that right?
Yeah, hot. All right.
Which is still just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It's a moving sidewalk away.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Sorry.
Elbow drop that.
It's been doing that.
Just gotta tighten them screws, bro.
I know, but I feel like they keep coming untightened. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. So we're going to the Church of New Modernity.
Yes, and as we travel, I do tell the boys, I'm going to stay a little separate from you all because you all are a couple as far as they're concerned, and maybe I can just be in the background listening and stuff. Okay, but I'm around.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You all leave. It's about 6:30. And you hop on the Travelator. It's only a stop away. But I do need you to roll a D6.
David,
I
yeah.
got you.
Oh, no, wait. Real quick, before you say that. So we're on the Travelator, and this is the first time that Tremolo is remembering his experience on this very side of the Travelator.
Yeah.
And he looks around and he goes, "Oh, yes, I quite forgot. I want to apologize to both of you." And he puts his little puppet hands on each of you and says, I questioned your very sanity. Sallie, for speaking of vampires, and Nezzy for speaking of alien robot creatures. And that was very ignorant of me, because on this very spot, and we're like passing the exact spot that the egg fell, a ginormous egg fell from the sky, and a rainbow butterfly emerged from it and began to sing and force people to bring it food. I then played my violin, and it scared it away. I meant to try and play a song with it because I thought the song was beautiful, and I thought, well, maybe it will be friendly, but it hated it and flew off. That happened just before I got a fracking job earlier today. That was this morning.
I'll tell you what, this is not the Bastionland I grew up in. Something strange has happened in this city that is well beyond the mischief that we've gotten into.
Nezzy, did your book talk about what he described? And I mean, that sounds like another alien to me.
I assume there's nothing in there, right?
No, nothing like that.
I have read that little textbook, that history textbook, quite a few times, and there was nothing.
History
like that.
Textbook is being nice.
Graphic novel.
Dave, what did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Okay, we're all good. You all make it to the Church of Modernity. There is a giant radio spire at the top of this church, and the pathway to it is lit up with these posts that have these large light bulbs on them. You've never seen this many electric bulbs collected together, and the church inside is so bright compared to so many other places that are generally lit with oil lamps or candles. And you make your way up this path, and you can see that there are people leaving because church is just let out. And so you see a lot of folks filing out. And Nezzy, Tremolo, you can see by the door handing out pamphlets is Aesop, the fellow you all met the other day with the Felina Robertson.
Okay, so Nezzy makes sure his hat is straight and that he's practicing his accent. Okay, all right, great. And
oh yes, remember, cowboy it up, Nezariah. Yes.
You got it, partner. And approaches Aesop, and I'm waving my arms wildly and affectionately as I approach him.
And he looks, and he sees you, and you see he's got this top hat with a bright bulb. He's got this shining blue coat that has wires sticking out of the back and leading down, almost creating a tail of frayed copper wires behind him. And he says, "Friend, hail, everyone. It is Nezariah."
Howdy there, Aesop. Oh, such a good sight for sore eyes, I'll tell you.
Nezariah is my friend, and he is friend to Felina Robertson of Dynamic Industries.
I have to tell you, Aesop, I delivered your message to Felina myself.
And he holds his hand up to your face, and he says, "Here, take these." And he hands off the rest of his pamphlets. And he says, "I'm sorry, friends, I have to go speak with our friend alone. Hopefully I will be able to get him to speak to the entire congregation at next service to tell us what he has learned from Felina Robertson. Come, we have to go inside. I want to hear this by myself. I don't want to share it with these people." And he starts leading you into a side entry. And he's passing. There's this woman with brown hair, and she's Aesop, what are you doing? You're supposed to be handing out the pamphlets. He's like, enough of that, Winnie. No one asked you. Can't you see where I'm with my friends? Come. Oh, you found a lady. A new lady companion.
No, I'm not there.
No, you're not there. Where are you at?
I was
Just staying
behind, so
outside.
I just really kind of stayed outside. I wanted to go in through the front because he's going through a side door. Is there
You're just being real lame. Is that it?
a little bit? I mostly just wanted to, I said I wanted to hear what's going on separate from them because they're doing their thing.
Well, they're
And
moving,
I
so
haven't
either
been-
you're
I
coming
know.
with them or you're
I'm
not. So
I'm
you're
not.
not.
So I want to go up and get a pamphlet. And can I get in the church?
There's a woman there that he handed these pamphlets off to, and she says, "Did you forget something?"
No, I was hoping to hear more about this.
Oh,
Apparently, I'm late.
Yeah, a little late. But that's okay. We do this every evening, and you can listen to it on the radio as well.
Okay. I take the pamphlet and I lean against the front of the building and just read it.
Feel
you
free
said-
to just hang out here.
You said that was Winnie, right?
Winnie
No,
was
Winnie- yeah.
No, the woman that Gail's talking to is not Winnie, but
Oh, sorry.
Winnie is the one who she was exiting the church, the side entrance that you guys are heading to with Aesop. And you all, so he doesn't say you have a lady. Thanks, Gail.
Sorry. I was hanging back. I wasn't there.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And he says, yes, it's so good to see both of you. Tremolo, are you actually there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank you. See, Gail, that's a team player.
Yes, I actually exist in this scene. Yes.
Thank you. He says, oh, yes, and it's the other one, the one that was in the carriage, trying to whistle.
Yes, Trey Trayston.
A pleasure to meet you.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. You may notice that my coloration has changed. I was blue, and now I am like a purple tint. That is because I have been doused in the wine of Felina.
And you guys are walking down these stairs that have these light bulbs hanging from these fixtures. And he stops. And he goes, say no more. Say no more, friend. And he leads you all back down. And he goes through a corridor and opens the door to this room. And you can see it has all these like microphones and these some kind of, it's like a large funnel shaped object connected to a cord. And it's sitting on top of a table. It looks like it's made of brass. And he sits down, or he pulls out a chair for you all to sit down, and then he goes and you hear him start clicking some objects. And you're hearing like the whirring of the like spinning of mechanical devices. And he says, I'm going to record this. Is that okay? Say anything.
Felina would rather that what we had to say be said in private.
And he clicks the button again, and you hear all that stop. She's upset with me.
No, quite the opposite. But
He spins around. What's this?
she was so pleased to hear that you are willing to be of service to her and the progress that she's trying to bring to this city. And she has a favor to request of you.
My day has come. Tell me of this favor so that I can fulfill it post haste.
Felina intends to show you a sign of rewarding your faith tomorrow at the service. But in order to do that, she needs to know exactly what is happening at the service tomorrow. Do you know what type of people are going to be there?
You speak of the funeral parade for Alderman Oglesby. She'll be
Why-
giving a speech there, yes.
Why, that's correct, yes.
What does she want to know from me about this?
Do you happen to know exactly if everyone in the area is planning on attending? There's going to be a great sign of faith there, and she wants to know necessarily who's going to be there.
Oh. A test of my knowledge and my connections. Is that what this is?
Correct.
I know several people. Just so she knows.
She'll be gratefully pleased to hear that.
She wants to know what kind of people there. I'm sure all the finest people who respect the alderman and what he means to this neighborhood and to the city of Bastion.
There's one person in particular she really wants to make sure is going to hear what she has to say. Do you know who Mr. Dick is?
And he gets very sullen, very still. She wants to know if he'll be there.
She does. She really needs to make sure that he hears what she has to say tomorrow.
Nezariah, I know that you are now friends and old acquaintances with Felina Robertson, and I want you to know that you may not understand this, but there is some tensions, rumored tensions between Anita. Not everyone thinks that she is there is tensions between this Anita Indigo and this Mr. Dick.
I believe Felina is aware of that. What do you know of it?
It's hard to say. Most of it is but rumors, and quite frankly, I'm fearful to speak of Anita, and for fear that it'll get back to her. She's a person of a very intense reputation. But I know that she and Mr. Dick don't seem to enjoy one another's company. And if Felina Robertson is worried about the people that would be there, I would assume that if Anita's there giving a key speech, then Mr. Dick would be best advised to not attend.
I see.
Or at the very least be very far away from where she is speaking. They are often not found in the same room together.
That would make sense. Felina was hoping that with such a big event that someone of Mr. Dick's stature would put that aside to be there tomorrow.
So you're telling me Felina wants Mr. Dick to be there? What is this about?
Actually, I believe in the matter of the way that she brought it up, it is very good that Mr. Dick will not be there because she wants to make sure that Anita will be safe. Do you think that you might be able to have a small or large group of your church members to be there to be around Anita and make sure that she stays safe?
This is very strange to me. Anita has always been against... is there like a beeping sound? Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's Dana's bread maker. Sorry.
It's okay. I was like, oh my God. That's fine. As long as I know which mic it's from.
Yep.
This is all very strange to me because Anita has been very against some of the technological advancements of the church. I wouldn't say that she's particularly friendly with Dynamic Industries.
Well, that is what's strange about these things, Aesop. I didn't know about them until I began to work alongside Felina at Dynamic Industries. There's a lot of politics that go back and forth, and I believe that they're starting to find things that they agree upon, even if it's not everything. And it's not like anyone would expect your church to show any means of force. It's merely a gesture of a symbol that you would be there to help protect the people that are important to Felina.
I understand completely. She wants to extend the church out like an olive branch.
Yes, exactly.
The
And
more
we will
that are
be that
connected
branch.
with the more that are connected with her work, the better she can do it.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, yes. We will do that. I will make sure our churchgoers are there. And we will show Anita Indigo that we have love in our hearts and we are willing to progress in this world with her.
Your faith will be rewarded. Now, I have some very important information I need to pass on to Felina Robertson. Would you mind giving me a little bit of privacy so I can use these devices here to communicate with her?
You're going to speak to her from where? In here?
Radio equipment. Is this radio equipment or
We do have some radio equipment, yes, available.
or a telephone? Actually, we want a telephone. That's actually it. Sorry.
You prefer a phone? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We can supply that for you. You'd be calling her on this phone?
Well, yes, I certainly will. If you give me a little privacy, Felina's a little shy.
She is a delicate flower. If only she would let me see her bloom. Yes. You'll have your privacy. And he takes you to a phone booth room in this church basement.
This is quite an opulent establishment you have here, Aesop.
We have invested in the future, and it shows here. We like to take some of our churchgoers down here so that they can see and demonstrate these incredible technological advancements. They are marvels.
Well, Trey Trayson will keep you company. If you wouldn't mind, Trey. Hi.
Absolutely. Nezariah, I hope that you'll keep in mind what we spoke about as you speak to Felina. Side head wink thing.
Of course, Trey, your wisdom will certainly prevail.
Yes.
Nezzy closes the
I
partition
assume
of the...
you gave me the card?
what
Because
card?
don't you have the cards? Oh.
You don't have to use a card to talk on a phone.
I see.
Yeah.
I was confused. Okay. Because I thought we were doing it so that it would trace back.
Well, there's the way these phones work is there's an operator. So the operator would know that you're at the church and she's connecting the church to
Okay,
the
so
Indigo
it's
Ranch.
just so the operator would know. Okay, I was
Yeah.
confused.
Right.
I thought we
So-
were doing something with the cards to. Okay, all right.
That'll
Yeah,
be
we
later.
did talk about the
If-
cards, but that's not it yet.
No, yeah, that's just another step so that if we're able to pull any of this shit off.
No, I was confused
And
when
they'll
you were
be-
bringing up the cards, and I was like, all right, we'll do this stuff with cards. Okay, all right, I'm still confused, but I'll make a phone call. Great. All right.
Okay.
And Tremolo asks Aesop to show him around to some of the other technical marvels that they have.
And I do so. And while I'm doing that, Nezzy, you get on the phone and you hear a young man, "Hello, operator. How may I connect your call?
I need you to connect me to Indigo Ranch.
Oh, of course. Having a good night, sir? You can hear like pins coming out of the board.
A lovely night indeed.
Well, here it is. This is, and you hear a click, and he says, phone call from from Church of New Modernity for Indigo Ranch. Will you accept the phone call? Sir, they'd like to know who's calling exactly. Can I give them a name?
Tell him it's Barney's father.
Okay. And you hear it click. And you hear another voice come on the other line. Hello? And it's not Anita.
Hello. I need to speak to Anita right away.
What are you doing?
I need some assurances before I do what Anita wants me to do. I need to speak to her.
All right. I guess you listened to the radio today?
I heard.
All right, pal.
Ish.
Sit tight.
He heard ish.
Yeah, this person doesn't need to know that.
They don't need to know the
all
details.
she needs to know I heard.
No, I'm just remembering that Tremolo only gave you about half the information.
That's right, yeah. Very true.
All right. I'm kind of excited to see how this conversation's going to go. I hope she lets me listen. And you hear like kind of the clang of the phone dropping on the table. And you sit there for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then you hear the kind of muffled shuffling of the receiver lifting up again. Yes.
I've heard you got my boy.
Yes.
You have me doing quite the deed for you to craft the city in the way you want it to be. And I need to know that if I do what you've asked us to do, that I can have a life with my son after this.
Whether or not you have a life with your son after this is entirely up to you, sir.
We've been told that you're going to clear our names. And I haven't met you. And I just need to know that my name is going to be clear. I know there's a lot of heat on me, but you know I didn't blow up that bridge. You know that what this is. If you have the power to make this go away, I need to know that you're going to use it.
If your name can be cleared, then I will clear it. If you are as innocent as you say you are, then I will show the world you're innocent.
If my name can be cleared, what do you think I've done that can't be cleared?
If you can do what you need to do, then I'm sure you won't have any problems.
So you will clear my name.
If that's what it takes for you to do the right thing, then I will absolutely work to clear your name.
And I know that my boy's been invested with you.
Correct.
Will you release Barney to me when all is said and done?
The only person that I can release Barney to is to his mother, who invested him in the first place. That would have to be between you and her.
If you promise to release her to his mother, I can make it work from there.
That's up to her. If she wishes to withdraw her son before maturity, she is free to do so.
Because you have to understand, when you've taken my boy, it certainly seems like he's a hostage, and you can't blame me for me feeling like this is a bit of a threat.
No, I don't blame you. I expect this of you.
You don't know me. What do you expect of me? You don't know me at all.
Neither does your son.
That's truer than I would like it to be. But I do aim to fix that.
And I wish you the best in your endeavors.
What happened to the shopkeeper that was caring for Barney when you found him?
The boy was dropped off at a police station anonymously with a note.
What did the note say?
It said something about apologizing, that they had discovered the child, didn't know who he was.
You see. Anita, I want to trust you, and frankly, I need to trust you. Don't betray me, and I won't betray you.
Of course.
Tremolo trusts you. I pray that he's right. And I hang up.
Tremolo.
Yes.
You hear the clang of the phone being hung up on. And Aesop turns around. I wonder what they were talking about.
Probably just about how great you are, Aesop.
And that's where we're going to take a break. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is what you're watching right now is a live raw recording with all the confusion that comes with improvising all this stuff on the spot. And we edited down, and it is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can get your podcast, however you like to get it. It's on that platform. You can look us up by typing in Out of Depth Plays, or you can just go to getoutofdepth.com, which has links to all of this stuff. You can even listen to it there at the website. Also there at getoutofdepth.com is our blog, which has posts by, right now, me, including like a list of shops that we've used in the game. Eventually, it's going to have posts by Gail, who's working on something extra special that I'm really excited to share that has nothing to do with role-playing games. Because we are about telling stories. We love role-playing games, and we love using this medium to tell stories. but we want to continue branching out and showing how we ingest and digest stories and what effect they have on us. And Gail has some really cool stuff she'd like to say about the subject that I'm really excited to share with you all soon. Soon? Question mark. And you can find all that stuff. You can get in contact with us. We're not really good at social media, man. You can. There's an email
we're not
icon.
Good at it. We just don't do it.
I think that's how you're not good at it, is by not doing it at all. You can email us at getoutofdepth.com. The link's there. I think it's getoutofdepth@gmail.com. I think is our email address. What do I know? And I only use it for business purposes. If you want to get in contact and tell us, hey man, great show. If you want to support us and what we're doing here, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it in advance. You can do that in a couple of different ways. One of those is really easy. You can just recommend us to other people to listen. I love the idea of other people listening to our show. I want more people to listen to our show. And that's kind of all I really want. Like, that's the majority of what I want, is for lots of people to listen to it. So if you can recommend our show to any of your friends who like to listen to actual play podcasts, I thank you if you can do that. That'd be great. If you want to do a little bit more than that, you can go to patreon.com/getoutofdepth, and you can subscribe at any tier to give us a few dollars a month. That's also appreciated. We're going to be putting a lot of stuff up there that's going to be, we have some really cool ideas for Patreon subscriber only content, including the Hackway Heights primer, where I have all of my notes about Hackway Heights so that you can use this setting in your game of Electric Bastionland, which I hope you want to play. Because if this show doesn't make you want to play it, we failed. Somewhere along the line, we failed. We screwed this up. Because, like, just me playing it makes me want to play it more every week. This is one of my favorite systems. This concept, it's based on Into the Odd, which is a fantasy, more like D&D kind of realmy version of the same game, and it's also amazing. So you can check all that out at Bastionland Press. They're not friends of the show. They're not enemies either. We just like to support cool people who do cool shit, and we'd like to thank them from our hearts for giving us something that we can play and tell a really cool story about a father who has neglected his son by being a sailor and is trying to win him back after getting out of prison and taking up work with a mock shark.
And the mockery that stands between them.
And the mockery that, and his mock friend who thinks he's probably a bad dad. That's all I got to say. Gail, you got anything? Nope, not anything. Do you have anything?
No.
Okay. That was your chance. Next time, be ready. I'm just kidding. Yeah, thank you all. And now back to the show. Let's see where we go from here. Aesop comes to the phone. Nezariah. Did she talk of me again?
She was very appreciative of what you knew. She really
Would you say
was.
that I pleased her?
You pleased her so much, she wanted me to tell you a secret.
My God.
Yes.
I can't wait any longer.
As you well know, the enemies of progress are everywhere. Everywhere.
Everywhere. This is no secret to me.
Yes. Well, these same enemies of progress, they framed that poor sailor for what happened at the bridge.
The terrible terrible father of Barney that blew up the Hackway?
The very same. The very same.
Allegedly terrible father of Barney that allegedly blew up the Hackway.
Oh, what was his name? It
It
sounds
was
like
Nezzy.
Nezariah, but not Nezzy.
Exactly. We talked about how it ruined the first syllable of my and your grandfather's name. Oh,
That was Felina's
cut that
name.
out. You're going to need
Yeah.
to cut that out. Yeah, edit that
Yep, I
out.
got it.
Yeah, I mixed up my characters.
Nezzy.
And that's a cut.
Yes,
Yes.
Nezzy.
Yes.
Sounds almost like Nezariah, but isn't.
Yes. So
You're saying
She
he was
asked-
what? He's innocent of these charges? He's actually a good father?
the enemies, regardless of his status as a father, she wanted me to let you know of the misdeeds of the enemies of progress. And she asked me to give you something. And I pull out the comic book. And she said, and she wanted you to have this. Just know to look for the clues for truth in this.
This is a pulp magazine of stories.
Yes. She said that someone like you will understand what it means.
Of course, yes. The truth is in here. Of course, yes, I'll see the truth. So you've told me, just so I have all of this together, because it's been a very confusing conversation for, I think, all of us. You're telling me that the Nezzy that kidnapped his son is not a bad guy,
I'm
and
telling
that the
you,
truth is in this magazine?
I'm telling you that the I'm telling you that the story that this man blew up the bridge is false,
Okay.
and that the enemies of progress are trying to frame him.
I see. And the truth is in this book of pulpy short stories.
She trusted that you would be able to figure out the rest.
Of course. Of course. Could you please roll a charisma check to see how effective you are at convincing this guy of any of this?
Sure, I can do that. Oh, yeah.
Watch him roll
Oh,
sixes.
shit. That's
No.
Oh shit! I totally got it.
that's
David's.
That's
Oh
a
no.
14. It's
No.
a 5, and a 4. That's
Isn't that-
14.
He's 13.
Yeah.
Just one over. Oh.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, thank you. So happy that you were here to give me this.
So Tremolo like kind of pulls his sleeve to get Aesop to come down to his level.
You kind of scare him, like, oh God, I forgot you were even there. You're so quiet. You don't breathe. You don't even breathe, do you?
No, sir, I don't have to. I am
So
but a
silent.
mockery. Please come here.
Yeah, okay.
You were there at the explosion, yes? Did you see some of the strange things in the wreckage?
I wasn't there. And you may be confusing it
He was on the outside when we met.
after it
Felina.
was done.
Yeah,
Right,
he
That
was
was,
there.
the,
cleaning
that was
up.
the next day.
Yeah.
They were cleaning up stuff, so there wasn't anything. But so they were there. They saw the scene, right?
They saw the scene. They weren't there when the explosion happened.
Absolutely. But
Is
they
that
saw
what you
the
were
scene.
asking?
No.
But you're saying, okay.
You were there at the scene of the explosion, yes, Aesop?
Yes, I saw it. We met there.
Yes.
Well, I met
Did you
Nezariah.
see any of the strange things there? Maybe you didn't notice them as strange at the time, but remember them as you look here and maybe focus on. You can start with the large robots.
Oh.
Just a thought.
Yes, okay. I'll give it a look. I think it's time for me to go ahead and get to looking at this. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone now.
Of course. Again, Felina thanks you for your loyalty.
And
Right.
that is Felina's personal copy, so treat it well.
I will. Thank you all. Let me show you out. And he escorts you up the stairs. Sallie, what were you doing during all of this?
I was talking to the lady handing out the pamphlets and asking questions about
What'd
the
you ask?
church. Well, just first of all, what did it say on the pamphlet? Was it just about when the next service was, or when events are, or was there
No,
actually
it's
anything?
kind of it's about like the history of man. It starts talking about like the history of like the wheel and the history of steam, right? And then these are all natural progression. So it talks about all these amazing inventions throughout the history of humanity and how so many of these have become ubiquitous to our daily lives, and that there are unseen forces trying to keep humanity from reaching its full potential.
Oh my gosh, this is so real. There are forces trying to keep us from our full potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I
do
know.
we do?
Well, you can start by joining our church and
Okay.
learning more about it. And we, if you're very eager to learn about it, and if it really matters to you, then we'll be able to find a place for you. We are very loud, and we're very energetic about trying to oppose those who want to stand in our way.
Like vampires.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right.
What?
What?
Like bureaucrats that are sucking the life from us through
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they can be kind of like vampires sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, just suck the life right out of you, and you just act like a zombie because,
Okay, zombies now. Yeah.
I mean, you act like one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love these analogies. That is how it kind of feels like. Zombies, vampires. Yeah, it kind of feels like you have to be a superhero to get any change made.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna come to the next one. Thank you. What's your name?
My name's Denise.
Denise. Nice to meet you. I'm Sal.
Great, Sal. Well, I'm really glad that you that this spoke to you.
It really did. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
All
And then
right.
I just kind of go into the shadows. Were there people congregating at all too? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's people kind of milling about,
I kind
talking
of
about.
listen. I kind of listen into what people are talking about, listening for just what they go for.
I love the image of you just being like, oh, great, yeah, that's great. And then you do a fucking Batman exit into the shadows.
Yeah.
I
You
grab
hear,
the
like-
steak and say, "Now go home, Denise."
Yeah. You hear Denise. You hear Denise talking to Winnie, and she's like, and then she started talking about like vampires. I was like, yeah, it kind of is like they're vampires. Yeah, I totally get it. But I think she meant like vampires.
Wow, we really did
I did mean vampire.
did a great job. We made the crazies look at us like we were crazy.
You guys are so effective.
Yeah, that's,
You guys are so
very
effective.
true. Yeah, we
You
thought
like
we had
have-
these guys wrapped around our fingers, and we just went in and told them like shit that even they don't believe.
Yeah, they're just like, oh my god. As they're saying that, you hear Aesop roll up. You should have heard the conversation I just had. It was good for a minute, and then it was like, I don't know.
I walk up and I'm like, "That book, the truth is in that book."
Yes, go away.
Oh man.
Denise is like, oh no, it's the vampire lady again. Yeah.
No,
The
yeah,
boys,
it's just-
Tremolo and Nezzy exit after their phone call. and you
I
all
think-
meet up.
I think we need to get out of here quick. Let's head back to the.
Okay.
All right. You all make your way back to Vexen Hall.
So on the way while we're strolling, you guys don't have to worry
We're
about
not
repeating.
strolling.
Well, standing.
You're on a moving sidewalk.
We're on a moving sidewalk.
It is illegal to stroll
It's illegal
on
to
said
stroll.
sidewalk.
Let's just say that you don't have to go through all of it or whatever, but because I did hear it. But Tremolo asks about how you guys got to Mr. Dick's through the tunnel that you guys went through.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll share.
You
all
guys
that
explained the
information.
whole shit that could be seen in that can be listened to in episode 8. If anybody wants to go, if anybody's just like starting with episode 10, go back to episode 1, and it's
Or
only
at least
12
8.
episodes.
Or at least 8.
But if you're like, no, I want to start here,
Yeah,
you can listen to it in episode 8.
but yeah, we'll tell you. Weird gravity. Things aren't where they
Spiders,
should be.
things,
It's weird
prick is
stuff.
gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Prick. Yeah, that's mostly
Robots.
what Nessie talks about.
Yeah.
Prick.
Camera robots, yeah.
It's always something with Nezzy.
Yeah.
My son, my sea urchin.
Yeah, he's an emotional guy, and really is not great at caring for the things he loves.
That does make me think of another question then. And we didn't really talk about it at the time, when you guys were in the truck, were either one of you able to see like exits? Because you're in the tunnel and then you exit out.
That's a good question, did we?
Sallie did not, because she was under the truck.
Okay.
What? Don't do that. Don't do that.
I was in the back, looking out the back.
But you did pass by like different buildings,
Yeah.
different garages for different buildings, like receiving. You also saw this place. You also saw what appeared to be a restaurant.
We passed by just what looked like the back delivery area for a restaurant.
No. It was like a glass window, and it looked like an Italian restaurant
Oh, it was an Italian restaurant that was
underground.
Down
pit?
in the tunnel.
Like 4 people in the pit? Is
Yeah, it was weird.
yeah.
Hang on
it
a
was
second.
that us, Jay? No, sorry.
Yeah, that's us.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it was down in the pit. It was. It looked like it had the red and white checkers, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a little cliched kind of Italian restaurant down there.
Yeah.
It was odd.
So Italy is now canon within Bastionland. It's important to know.
Look,
I'm kidding.
Were you was Nezzy able to see? I'm really wondering if there's any more of the weird moments when they're coming out of the tunnel, just like when they came from that doorway into the tunnel. Is there weird gravity shifts and stuff?
no, nothing that stood out other than the fact that they walked a short distance and were already at Mr. Dick's, and then the truck ride was actually a very short truck ride.
Right.
And they were in even the truck ride was peculiarly, that's not a word, it shouldn't be, fuck that word. It was a strange distance was covered.
But there wasn't a visible thing in the tunnel, like the visible thing that they saw before.
Like a weird door, or like a hole. No, they didn't see anything.
Just like a
that.
shift in reality of some way. No. Because I was thinking that might be what does it, but
So there's no one on this walkway with us, right? We're alone. Somewhat, no.
No.
Maybe let's wait. Yeah, let's wait to talk until we get back.
You make your way back to Vexen Hall. The place where you can talk without Jay pulling some shit on you. Saying there's an NPC standing right next to you.
Finny listens.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to go straight for
If-
that wall
Yeah.
and see if I can figure out
Finney's
if there
gonna
is a
rat
way
us
to
out,
hide in
then,
it.
Then we're
Yeah.
done for already. So.
You guys make your way back to Vexen Hall. What would you guys like to talk about?
All right. Well, tomorrow's the day. We need to figure out what the plan is. How are we going to kill Mr. Dick? Now, certainly what we learned is it doesn't seem like Mr. Dick is going to be at the ceremony. It seems like there's no guarantee that he might just be at Skirts and Furs for the day.
Well, we can stake out the place. We can. I mean, we could stake out the place, see if he like goes out for lunch or something like that, and if he does, then we could, go in and kind of clear things out a bit, or we could go real early before he even gets there. I mean, I don't remember him being a real early riser, but he doesn't really sleep either, so I don't know what his habits are these days.
I could. Now I look like a different lizard. I could put on a costume as well and go in through the dressing room and try the secret door and see where it goes.
I certainly think whatever we do, we should do together. We shouldn't be splitting up within Skirts and Furs. That doesn't
Well, I mean,
seem...
through a secret door. If I'm going in and I'm shopping, and then I just peek in the secret door. I don't think the three of us in a dressing room together would quite look. That might be a little.
We could
but
be right outside the door.
Different, so I might be able to go in.
Right outside the store, in case
Yes.
anything goes wrong. But I'm not sure how you let us know that you needed help.
Why wouldn't we use the automatons to enter and exit?
Well, you have progressed our timeline so that I don't know how to use the automatons yet, and I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to figure it out. You want to do this tomorrow, and I have to get in closer with Felina and the other people that work in Dynamic Industries for me to even figure out who to speak with and how.
Can we time out? I thought we did know how to use the automatons, didn't we?
No.
I thought
you know how to use the trucks.
Yeah, we know how to use the trucks.
We can use the trucks, not the
little robots.
That's what he's
Right,
talking about, though.
He's
Sorry.
talking about the trucks.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the automatons were like the drivers essentially, right?
Yeah.
Those are automatons.
But they're also
trucks.
when we first were introduced to them, they were standing freeform in a
Under the
cabinet.
dynamo, yeah.
Under the dynamo.
Those were robots.
Well, I mean, it's all the same word, but anyways, there's the little robots, the little automatons that work under the dynamo,
Okay.
and then there's a different type of robot that drives the truck, and it receives a radio signal from the mechanics bay
Yes.
to go to the location, which
And I
you
guess-
know how to send that signal to those truck drivers on how to get them to a location. You could do that.
And I'll say for me specifically, I'm separating those two things as trucks. We can use those trucks and we can send those trucks where we want to go.
Okay.
I don't care about the fact that it's a robot driving
Truck
it or
bots.
not.
Sure.
It's a truck that we're sending around.
No, I
But when
use
we
the
say
automaton,
automaton,
I should
I'm
say
thinking
truck,
of the
sure.
freestanding things, which is another thing that we could do is figure out how to control those and have a robot army if we wanted that. Well, I'm just saying, I don't know how
Yeah.
far that would go, but
It'd be helpful.
could be helpful. I mean, that's one of the thoughts that I've had is that we would be able to program one of those possibly and have it just go through the back entrance and get as much information as it possibly could and hopefully get out. And if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well, but at least it's a robot. It's not one of us, But we don't,
Okay. So David, your question was about
Yeah. So
the
what's the
trucks, the
mix-up?
automated trucks.
No. We just kept on talking about going in the front. So my whole question was, if we already know a way in the back, why wouldn't we come in and out the back instead of going through an unknown territory when we know that there is like posted guards and stuff, or from
Yeah.
what we've been
Yeah.
aware of
Yeah.
searching first.
Well, it's the fact that it's a business, so people go in and out all the time. So if we go in costume, and especially now that Tremolo doesn't look the way that he's supposed to look, put a costume on him as well, then he goes in, acts like he's shopping, goes into that dressing room, and checks out the secret door that no one's supposed to know about.
Okay.
That
And then
it's some sort of a secret entrance. So I may be wrong, but I'm not thinking of it as a front entrance, because we know that there's the front entrance that has guards in front of it that we're not touching. This is a side secret entrance. Lord knows where it goes, but it may very well, in all honesty, the whole time I've been thinking of like Tremolo isn't somebody that wants to go in guns blazing. He wants to find a vent and drop bombs down the vent, and it go right into Mr. Dick's office. That's the thought that's been in his head the whole time. That may not happen in any way, shape, or form, but like, I'd rather like know that, because even if we're coming in the back door, that's still a well-trafficked area where it's a shipping area. It's not a secret area.
So all the reconnaissance we've been doing with the pit, I'm just so that's where we're thinking of exiting.
we had been talking about it. So
Exit
two
or
things.
entrance, but we just don't know.
I think what Nathan's getting at is that he just wants to at least know what that is
Right.
With that option.
in the dressing room.
Right.
And I feel like it's the best way for us to get inside and get some more kind of an idea of what's going on in there. Could be totally wrong. It could be,
Yeah.
It could just be an extra closet that has a weird thing on it, Lord knows. But the thought is that would be the best way to be able to sneak in and get a little bit more information. And like Tremolo said before, he had thought about trying to find some technology at Dynamic Entries that might help. Like if there was a sonar or something and you're able to get in there and turn that on and then get a reading of what the fuck's going on. Lord knows that they would have any kind of thing like that, but he was going to go and talk to people that worked there and try to get some more tech stuff, tech info, if there's anything that could help.
So 3 problems that Sallie is going to say that she sees with front door or back door is 1, Tremolo, you still are a mock lizard with a scar, and that's going to be pretty pointed. So you'd have to act really well. So how would you act to be this new lizard?
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to get a costume. I'd have to think about my character.
He won't know until he has his shoes on.
Yes.
That's when they find the
Two.
characters, when the shoes
If we
on.
do the back door, or even if we exit that way, there's a guy in plate metal armor with a giant fork. So we got to take care of that guy. So we got to figure out what the heck we're supposed to do with that. And I believe he's got a little army of slaves too.
So he works there, and he was just expediting the truck traffic. I wasn't sure if he did anything, like, he didn't leave with the truck. He stayed there, and he's like a god.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. He's like the god on from the other side.
My main worry is if we're using the truck as the mean to escape, how do we even know that there's going to be a truck there unless we take a truck to it?
Absolutely.
Good point.
Well, and that's why I have a card that will take a truck there, so we can ride the truck there if we want to, or maybe some of us do.
No, I just want to make sure we
option.
have our getaway ready. If we're going in the front and we're exiting, we sure well better plan how we're getting out.
It is an option, and I believe that once that truck is there, we could take that card and use that same card again and send another truck, and send another, and send another, and send another. So we can send as many trucks as we want to Mr. Dix because we have the code that we would just simply use it for each. It may need to be that it stays there until the truck arrives, and when it's arrived at its destination,
What
you have to
device
put a
do
different
you
card in.
what device do you put the card in to summon the truck where you want it to go?
It's there at the control terminal that I pointed out when we were at Dynamic Industries, where Obo, the mock turtle, works that station. I was greasing the wheel there so that he might help us, but I think that may be far gone now.
Well, you're Felina's assistant. Can't you just say, hey, this has to go at this time?
I guess so. I was hoping to... Anything that might seem odd, I was hoping I could not have to worry about it, but
So-
now we may have to worry about
Does he
how we
seem like
deal
a real
with him.
smart guy that will figure that out?
He's not the smartest guy, but he knows his job very well, and he knows when he's being asked to do something that's not quite up to code.
So either we have to not have you around because you'll have to be back at headquarters doing this, or we'll have to really lean on Obo and perfect timing.
Or we know that the everything closes up at 5. If we have another person there, a true friend to run that station, that is another possibility.
Who's the true friend?
We have several friends, right?
Oh,
Don't we?
well,
Please, God, tell me you have friends.
Please, we have other friends.
well, most of mine are in prison, so
Shira's pretty up for anything so far. She's pretty nice.
Red to the rescue.
Rat
That's a good
Tat and
point. You
Shira
really
are pretty,
you really got
pretty
to-
game.
Yeah.
Yes, they're pretty cool folk. But it's an option.
Okay.
But yes, and then after that, I have punch cards to send those trucks to the church or the Indigo Ranch. So we can use both of them, send multiple cars in those directions. We could actually use one if we want. Or it sounds like we may be able to send those in the opposite directions and walk through your doorway that's just across the way that no one would be suspecting that we wouldn't have any idea about.
And that's true, and that's an option. And so then we need to have something to get over the gap.
Yes. You have traversed this. I have no idea.
It's 5 feet wide. Is that right?
No, it's a little further than that.
Oh.
How
I could be
wide?
thrown over, so I'm good. Anyone else?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well,
we can't.
once if we're leaving through there, I mean, we could just escape through Dynamic Industries too, or
No, I'm taking the way back through the dynamo at the cemetery. Oh,
yeah.
I'm saying them. Yeah, that I'm
And I
talking
guess
about
the reason I'm speaking about it this way is if we do it the right way, if we do this just right, we may be able to not leave much of a trace of ourselves, and everyone would be looking at the church and at Indigo Ranch. And we've already connected them with a phone call. And we would be scot-free.
Okay.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
I will say that this is I've thought about these little steps as I was, getting things together, but it's not a full-fledged idea. and I'm not saying that we have to do any of these. We can ride one all the way to Indigo Ranch, be right there and say, hey, it's done. Give us Barney, clear our names, goodbye. But I knew from the get-go that no one really trusted Anita. I trust her more than most, but she has shown herself to be very cruel and maybe just another Mr. Dick in disguise. So it might be best for everyone if we take them all down together.
If we take them, you want to take them all down, potentially? Wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that Anita would be blamed. Her, with the help of the church, would be blamed for the killing of Mr. Dick. Most likely, we're going to.
So if she tries to turn on us,
pretty well.
we'd have a way to blackmail her if needed, or we could just do it anyway.
Well, I believe any authorities would look directly at her, is what would happen. So it is a move, and it may not be the move that we want to do, because we have to worry about Barney being there with her.
That's my concern too.
Right.
I'm afraid if we frame her, then we don't clear Nezzy's name, and we don't get Barney back, and we just. I wouldn't mind getting. I don't appreciate that she gets to be all high and mighty with me when I know what the things she's done too. But, and I don't like the way she's played this game. I don't like the way she's played it at all. And she has been playing a game as far as she's concerned. But
It sounds like the first step of our.
We got Barney.
Sounds like the first step of our plan is doing reconnaissance from the front entrance, and
at Dick Skirts and Furs,
and then recruiting someone to potentially operate the trucks for the exit. Are those kind of a couple of the main steps that we're talking about?
And getting like a big piece of plywood to put over that gap.
Right.
Number 3. All right.
Okay. So
but first things first is disguises before we could go into the front.
Finney says, I have disguises.
Finney!
I like to dress up my dolls.
Have you ever wanted to go into Dick's Skirts and Furs?
I hadn't ever thought of it.
That look. Just what?
You mean the place where you're going to kill that guy?
Not quite, but yeah.
I guess I've never thought of it.
Speaking
Would
of
you
friends,
want me to be the one that looks into the dressing room?
Yeah?
yes, you really hear a lot, don't you?
The walls are thin.
Can I ask you a question, Vinny?
Nope. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. And you knowing what we're up against, having heard all of our private discussions here throughout the house, and you also knowing what your do you call him master?
Yes.
Or employer? Master. Okay.
He's my master, yes.
Yes, and so the workings of your master, the things that he does, do you think that that these two could intermingle at any point? That there might be some mutual benefit? Because we really have no idea what he does, and we're not really asking unless you think that it would be appropriate that we would be able to help each other out.
No, I don't think that he would like to be involved with your crimes.
Okay, that is very clear.
My master has a lot on his plate.
It's
Yes.
okay. We really don't want to be involved with his stuff either at this point. So
Would he
we also
be,
have enough on our plate, as you've heard. So, okay. We get it.
would he be interested in the body of a mock shark? If we...
Of course.
Yes, okay. And what
I mean,
would it...
no, but yeah. I mean, no. But yeah.
Well, maybe if you might ask him if we were to deliver that, what he might be able to do to help us in return.
I could talk to him about it. If you're going to donate a body of a mock shark,
Yes, and it's quite huge.
of course.
Yeah.
We have no idea what kind of shape it may be in when we bring it to you, though. We will say this.
I need it to be in impeccable shape. You all turn, and there stands in the doorway Count Vexenhall.
Hello, Count.
Yes.
What is impeccable shape? I mean, like poison, that does some damage, right? But that seems like they're whole.
The
What
body
if you-
parts must be usable.
Usable.
I don't need him in tatters.
How
I
many?
don't need his stuffing all over the place.
How many?
I need
body
him
parts?
intact.
Yes, I really don't think this is going to work out then. Because I'm currently trying to figure out a way to make my bombs more shoddy and cutty and explodey in order to kill this.
I hear that.
Well, if we figure out a way to keep him whole, we will let you know.
Right. Well, I was just stopping up for a bit of orange juice. Finny, orange juice? And Finny's like, right, yeah, oh yeah, my master, I have to get his orange juice. And he runs over to the icebox, starts pouring some freshly squeezed OJ. You guys are all sitting awkwardly in silence as this, like, pulpy orange juice is dripping into a very tall glass.
Globbing.
And then Count Vexenhall slowly, very awkwardly, drinks the entire glass in one go. Wipes his mouth. Yes, well, I'll let you all to it. And he walks out of the
You
room.
too, so.
Finny says, so am I going to dig skirts and furs, or is that like a, am I part of the team?
Do you want to be?
I mean, I could be down. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He would be a great help at the control station for sure.
If you do,
I'm really good at
as,
flipping switches.
You know,
if you do everything as well as you cook a breakfast, then we're in for a very useful team member. That's for sure.
That was a compliment about my cooking. I heard it.
Yes.
It was. So yeah, so we're thinking maybe at the switches. Would you be interested in moonlighting?
Indeed.
All right. Well, then, Tremolo, we got to find you like a Hawaiian shirt or something, you know, that doesn't make you look like Tremolo at all.
I have just the thing upstairs.
You do?
That's how this entire conversation started, was that I had disguises.
Yes, he likes to dress his dolls up,
Yes.
Oh, I missed it.
and
My dolls are the size of children.
I am child-sized. So.
Tremolo. Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Let's go. Let's look. Let's look.
And what did you say? An Hawaiian shirt?
I was like, that's so
Hawaii.
un-Tremolo. That was the first thing
Yes.
I thought of.
Okay, so I put on a Hawaiian shirt and
Yes, I just so happen to have been to Hawaii. Here's a straw hat
Oh, I love it. I
great.
love it, Tremolo. You're so cute.
and a lei.
Oh. And of course it's winter, so you just came in from Hawaii, and now you're looking for a fur coat.
Bermuda shorts.
oh, great, perfect.
All of it for you.
And what kind of person would wear all this? Did you say it's winter right now? Did you say it's winter?
It is.
It is clear, yes. This whole game started in the
Oh my
snow.
God.
So,
Yeah.
remember?
How does this make any sense?
You're a mockery, man.
You need a
came
coat
from Hawaii. You
at
need a
Dick's
coat.
Skirts and Furs.
Yeah.
Okay,
You need a coat.
I've got it. Okay, so I'm a
Tell them that
travel.
you just flew in, and boy, are your arms tired.
Okay, so I'm Am I like am I like a surfer type? I love the sun.
Yeah.
Is this where we're
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds good.
got it.
Are we about to do like a complete flip to you being at the store?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we go ahead and do that?
Yeah, just
Is that
walking
down?
in.
Do it.
Just
Can we
walking
just
in.
cut
By the
to
way,
him
got
walking in?
sunglasses on to cover the eye.
Oh, I
You've
love
got
it,
like
yeah.
white.
A little
You've
bit
got the little white streak of suntan lotion across your nose.
Okay, you can do it. You can do this, Tremolo. You can do this.
You
Music. Music hits, and he just strolls in.
Yep. Cut to Dick Skirts and Furs. Tremolo is walking, finger guns, going to not a lot of people. The crowds aren't present here. They're further up north. Tremolo, do you have your helmet on or no? No.
Have they?
Complete
What'd you
incognito.
say?
Straw hat.
Straw hat. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You go inside this building. It is a 2-floor building. There's an escalator that goes up to the second floor. On the bottom floor, you can see that there is a retail counter. There's another counter for credit. There's a security guard who you've seen before sitting by the door at the escalator. And the store is pretty empty right now. There's a lot of people who are more interested about the funeral of Alderman Oglesby today. Sir,
I just want to make this clear.
Yeah.
Right now, there's one guard at where at?
there's the door by the under the escalator, which is the way that you all went down to meet Mr. Dick the first time with Merkin. So you know that door goes down there.
Absolutely.
And
there's
then the
one
rest
guard
of are a couple of, and it's just one guard sitting in a chair. He's an old guy. He looks like he's asleep. It's a slow day.
And we are outside.
Yeah,
Or
where are
at
you
least-
two?
At least Sallie. I would say we're in kind of different places where we can get two different vantage points, but kind of across the street, kind of looking in windows to make sure like we don't see a scuffle or anything like that. But
Okay.
looking, Nezzy, right? Like looking
Yeah.
nondescript. I've got my old paper with the gossip column and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've turned my
just
coat
reading it.
inside out so you can't see Born to be Wild. Less conspicuous.
Yep. You just see all the seams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are across the street, right? That's what we just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street. Tremolo. Trey Traston. You are in Dick Skirts and Furs, and a woman comes up, blonde hair done up in a bun, triangular glasses. Hello, sir. Shopping for the missus?
No, actually, I'm shopping for myself. Actually,
Okay.
I would like to, I like wraps and stuff because I'm really into beach stuff.
Well, we mostly have skirts and furs here at Dick's.
Skirts. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I like to keep it airy and stuff. So if you would be kind enough to show me around, I've never been here before, so that'd be cool. Like if you could show me around the skirts and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. And she starts gesturing to some skirts. And they are made from like incredible purple silks. Again, in Bastion, most of the people who are lower class, they're wearing beiges and browns and black. But these are vibrant golds, purples, reds. And she shows you a selection of skirts. And you can't help but notice that hanging from a wall next to the credit counter is a skirt that looks like it's been worn a lot. Like it doesn't look new. And it's just hanging there by itself from a hook. And it's made from like this kind of brown, plain fabric. It doesn't look particularly special. But she's like gesturing at all these really nice clothes near it. And she's like, and this we got from overseas just this past season. You're going to really love this one if you like to air it out. It will air all of it out.
Awesome. That's really awesome. What's up with the skirt you got hanging up over there?
And she looks back at the skirt and looks back at you and she goes, oh, I understand. We just stare at each other for like 2 beats. Tremolo, unable to blink, just keeps staring up at her like, what? And she goes, yeah. And she looks around. She's like, it's a pretty quiet day today. Yeah, if you need money, right? Is that what it is? Then you can just take that to the lady at the counter and purchase it for the price that you need.
Oh, so it's like it's kind of a charity kind of thing.
She
That
laughs.
anyone who walks in would be able to purchase something to leave with something.
Of course, yes, it is like charity.
Am I understanding that right? That's what that is? That it's or that's a signal.
There's something
He's
here.
a
There's
loan
something.
shark. Right.
He is a loan shark.
Oh, right.
So that's the
Okay.
signal for I need money. And
Yeah.
okay, and let's make an arrangement to get some money. Okay.
Oh, that's what. Okay. I was seriously like, are you're saying that he's nice enough that it's like, hey, you can't afford anything else. Here's a big shitty skirt up here. Anyone
Here's
can
this.
afford that.
Here's this
Pay what you
reused
can.
skirt.
Basically, I thought you were saying pay what you can.
No. That's funny. Yeah.
Um, that. Oh, okay. Well, that's a great. He's just gonna lean into that harder.
She's
That's
like
a
this.
great
She
charity.
seems so comfortable now with you. She's like, this makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Like this guy's desperate for money.
Cool. Well, actually, I would like to, and I pull out of my. What'd you say? I have cargo shorts. What'd you call them?
Yeah. Bermuda shorts. Yeah.
Bermuda shorts. I pull out a wad of cash that I got from Sallie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, actually, no, I'm really here to buy some skirts. I know it might sound strange, but like, when you become one with the waves, and like, this actually is something for Tremolo a little bit. You know, he's lived on a ship for a long time.
Yeah.
He does have a connection with the water. So there's a little bit of honesty there. When you like become one with the waves, you find like your own rhythm in life, and you just want to kind of be free, and just be one with the water. And you can't keep your junk all tight in some pants, So I'd like some skirts with like some cool print on it, You got some flower print, anything like that? That'd be awesome.
She finds you a skirt with like red and white flowers, petals all over it.
Yeah,
And,
that one's cool. Can I have like 5 more, please? I want options. Again,
these skirts are $600 each.
yeah, that's cool. So I think I'll probably get about 4, but I want to look at options. I'd like to have like 6 different ones to look at.
Okay.
Please, if you don't mind, that would be great.
And so she pulls 6 different skirts of varying print and beauty.
Awesome. And which direction's the dressing room at?
It is just over here.
Great. And he scampers to make sure that he's leading the way to the dressing room so that he can go directly to room number 6. I
Sure.
believe it is. Yeah.
You go to the dressing room, and as soon as you step in, there is a guy sitting on the inside of the dressing room, back up against the wall. And to his right, just past him, is dressing room number 6. And it has a sign on it that says out of order.
So I go to dressing room number 5.
Okay,
beside
yeah,
it.
right next door.
Cool.
He kind of gives you a nod, hey, buddy. And you enter dressing room number 5.
So
Is this like the dressing rooms where there's like a big, huge 2-foot gap underneath, or?
yeah, that's what I was hoping. When I'm guessing she's bringing stuff in and she's going to like hang it up places.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she does that, and then is there a hanger on the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I move the longest one that I can on the door, and I like move the skirt or whatever so that it's hanging down as low as possible.
So that it's covering the gap in the
covering the gap in the door.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he gets down and he looks to, is there an opening there that I could move into the next stall?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's nobody in there I can see from underneath it?
Right. There's nobody in there, no.
Okay. So he scurries over there, and well, he leaves his hat so he doesn't have to worry about that, and then scurries in there and goes right for the mirror, right? Was it it was a secret door. All I know is a secret door.
Yeah. So when you get into this room, what you see is you can see a plain wall, and you can actually see a line of separation in the wall where it creates a rectangular frame. And next to this this kind of window, right? It's all wall, but there's clearly a mark here where this could open up. There is a string running through a hole, and a little sign that says "Ring me."
Fuck.
Sally's outside going, I just really love Tremolo's accent. I mean, that thing, he just came up with a really cool character. I'm really so proud of him. I hope he's doing okay in there.
Tremolo just like, with his dead eyes, just stands there like, what the fuck do I do now? I don't want to ring anybody. Shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just like this whole time, like Tremolo's like, no, we gotta do this. We gotta do this, you guys. And now he's standing there like, we don't need to do this.
I know. Like man, I've been sitting on this for weeks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Every time you guys would talk about it, I'd be like,
It's not gonna go the way you think it's
not gonna go well.
Yeah, I mean, so he would definitely be looking at this to see if there's a way he can just get it open himself, without making much noise or anything. He is desperately looking for any way to open the door without having to ring a bell.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just kind of like a cutout, a rectangular cutout. It looks like it opens inward.
Mm-hmm.
So you could try to like push it.
So yeah, he gives like a little nudge to see if it would be like, I mean, the first thought that I have is that you're saying that it goes the opposite way, but the first thought would be like, he'd give it a little nudge thinking it might be like one of those magnet things that
like it'll click it. Yeah,
or something,
it'll pop out.
He does a little push and stuff, and
Yeah.
then pushes a little harder.
Yeah, it doesn't budge.
Goes a little shoulder.
Yeah.
So maybe it starts to get a little loud.
Can you make like a dexterity check?
Yeah. My dex is 11, and I have to roll how many? 3?
3d6.
10.
Okay. You're able to do this without... You're able to do this without alerting the guard who was like 6 feet away reading a magazine on the other side of the door.
God damn it.
I feel so bad.
Yeah. I think he just has to abort. I mean, I can't think of any way of, I mean, I could bullshit, but then I'm going to end up being in there. There's no way for me to,
Yeah.
it's like just if I brought that skirt up, then you're in the middle of it and you're like really talking to Mr. Dick or something.
Right.
Is that what I need to do? I need to play this character and get inside with Mr. Dick and then like scope out what I can.
If he's down there, he might not be down there.
Yeah, do we know? Yeah.
Not for sure.
Does Tremolo know? Like,
No, I have
we
no idea.
usually- if you deal with other people besides Mr. Dick.
Right.
If
I mean,
he's
I could do the skirt thing and they're like, okay, here's the money and you sign here and we have pictures of you now and pay it back in 2 days or you die. We're like, well, I didn't do anything.
We're back where we started, but
Right.
worse.
I just can't imagine if I ring this bell, it's got to be a bell to Mr. Dick. Like, it's got to be in his office. Right?
Or something.
Maybe.
To
Or maybe
someone.
not. Who knows?
Shit. Ass and...
Ring that bell.
Ring it and then scream. No, I don't know. I'm not encouraging
You hear
that,
you
but
hear a
that's-
knock.
oh.
You hear a knock at your dressing room, number 5. Everything okay in there, sir? And it's the lady who was helping you.
I put my head in the back corner, like
Yeah.
beside that dressing room, and then put my, That's it.
Yeah. And if anybody could see the 2 people that are in the dressing room outside, the guard and the worker, they're both looking at each other like, okay.
Okay. Fucking hell.
I believe in you, Nathan.
No, he goes back under and
Oh, man.
comes
Dejected.
back over there, looks at the skirts. See, he's purple, so what color would go well with his purple
Well,
tones?
If you're into the Lakers, gold always goes with purple.
There you go, gold. Yeah. So he gets the gold one and puts it on and opens the door and walks out. So he's got everything else off.
Yeah.
Keeps his sunglasses on.
Right.
But then he's got this gold skirt wrapped around and he's like showing it off and looking in the other mirrors and everything.
And the guard sitting across from you goes, "Oh, you look great."
Yeah. Thanks, man. That feels good. He does squats. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you can really move around in this.
Sometimes I take my wife's skirts and try them on.
That's
It's very
cool.
free.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I really feel like, we should all just feel like we could wear whatever we want to wear, whatever we're comfortable in,
I kind of feel the same way. I felt so much more free. I said, why do women have these? Why didn't men have these first?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that we have, I mean, if you think way back, guys used to wear skirts too. It was just seen as, something that everybody wore until pants were invented, man.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I was a little uncomfortable at first, and I felt people like looking at me and stuff. But when you start to own it yourself, then people don't care anymore. They just look at you and say, Right on.
Right on. You know
That's
what?
it, man.
I think you're right. I'm going to start owning it.
Yeah. He comes in and does one of these.
He does the Polly Shore
The weasel.
finger stuff.
Yeah.
The weasel.
Weasel.
Wheeze the juice.
Does that guy do it back? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, I don't know what this is, but if this is going to make me feel more comfortable about wearing a skirt, I will
Wiggle
do
my
weird
fingers.
finger waves all night.
What's up with the door out of order?
And he gets still and he says, there's somebody left a mess in there.
Oh, gnarly, man. I'm so glad I
Yeah.
got to use that word.
There you go.
All right, so you think this is a go?
Yeah, go with the gold.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with this one right now, see what the lady thinks. And I might come back for more sometime soon. Be cool to see you again, man. I could walk in and put my other clothes back on.
Yeah. While this is happening out in the adjacent store, the across the street store, Sallie and Nezzy are watching with bated breath as Tremolo attempts to infiltrate Dick's skirts and furs, not knowing that it is going not as successful as they had hoped. A parade is starting to move across the streets. The snow is beginning to fall again, but the revelry is unfazed by the weather. There is a celebration happening, a celebration of a life well lived, the life of Alderman Oglesby. You can see a caravan of parade floats of people that benefited from Oglesby's legislation. You see a parade of school children whose elementary school was funded in part by legislation by Oglesby. Firemen, police officers, medics, all have their place in this parade. A cart starts to roll by. Unlike a lot of the other floats, this one is driven by 4 incredible horses. The carriage is white with gold trim, and sitting atop of it is a woman and a small child. That woman is Anita Indigo, and the child is Barney. And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Hard day, dudes.
Man,
Jay was ready to ring that bell.
man. Thanks for watching, everybody. Got a lot to think about. We're heading into the last 2 episodes. And it's going to get wild, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.